I believe I've just started YouTube. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, welcome YouTube. We are going to get started here shortly in a Replit's tutorial on how to build an auto summarizer with GPT-3. So this is the first time ever that I've live streamed on YouTube. So yeah, I will be doing some live streams on YouTube. I've decided if it's technical, if it's non-political, I think I can get away with it on YouTube. And so that's what we are going to be doing. I want to get started here. I think we've got some folks in the room. Welcome everyone who's watching. And we're going to go ahead and just pull up Replit and get this bad boy going. Replit. Okay, and now first of all, in order for you guys to see the text well, I need to shrink the size of my window significantly. All right. Whoops. You should be able to see this. All right, so this is called Replit. Replit is an online IDE. It is not my normal tool set, obviously, for this kind of program, for any kind of programming, but I'm doing this because I want to learn about natural language processing. Now, when we started this yesterday, full disclosure, I was a little bit disappointed because I thought that we would be doing more model implementation. Like I thought we'd be learning kind of how to build LLMs basically, but this is not that. This is leveraging existing LLMs and their feature sets, mostly using their like APIs. So if you're here for the deep dive into LLMs, we're probably only going to skim the surface here. Now we could watch this tutorial, but the tutorial says exactly the same things that it says over here in the left bar. So we're just going to go ahead with what the left bar is all about. And of course, so we're implementing an auto summarizer course introduction. Welcome to the final day of this course. Today we will create a summarization bot that uses, also y'all, if you're technical at all, if you're a developer, you don't need to go through the first 3 days of this course. Basically what they're showing you is how to load up libraries from Python, how to call APIs, and they kind of introduce you to the Hugging Face inference API. Which is now deprecated, by the way. So even the client library that they're using here is deprecated. But I wanted to finish the course, A, because I like to finish what I start. B, because this question of an auto summarizer is actually interesting to me. I think I'd like to have something like this kind of on my own machine where I could plug in, like, let's say a PDF of a bill or meeting minutes or something like that and just have a question and answer with the PDF. So we're going to see what this actually allows us to do. And if we, depending on how it goes, if this goes well, maybe we'll continue doing other ML related things. At this point, I'm thinking that what I actually want to accomplish is I want to run one of the state-of-the-art Mistral models on my either a local machine or on a cloud device that I control. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. I'm going to pull out the Rumble chat here. I do like to watch the Rumble chat, and I'll also pull out the YouTube chat here. So for the first time ever, YouTube chat is a thing that we will have access to. I guess I should probably share the YouTube. Well, I just don't. I don't really care to stream YouTube. We're only on YouTube in case they decide to share us with people who are interested in this kind of content. I'm not going to do anything to help YouTube since they are extremely antagonistic towards Christians. All right, so let's implement an auto summarizer. Welcome to the final day of the course. How should AI systems behave? Yeah, by the way, I'm also going to skip all the ethics discussion here because I just don't think that these people have any credibility in the field of ethics, and right or wrong, morality, anything like that. So hopefully you'll leave today with a firm understanding of how prompt engineering, how it can help us create more complex projects with GPT-3. Okay, cool. A little bit intro to prompt engineering. I already do prompt engineering all day, but let's see. Okay, so welcome to the wonderful world of prompt engineering. Getting the best content out of our language models all starts with crafting the perfect prompt. Even something as simple as saying, let's think step by step, can drastically increase performance. Chain of thought prompting and using few shot learning or having examples of other inputs with desired outcomes in the prompt are two very powerful prompting techniques. So can I pull up, can I make this image a little bit larger? Can I open image? How does that? So standard prompting, Roger has 5 tennis balls. He buys 2 more cans of tennis balls. Each can has 3 tennis balls. How many, can I just zoom in on that? Yeah, now we're cooking. Okay. I had to manually zoom in on this. Chain of thought prompting says the cafeteria had 23 apples. How many more apples do they have? What's the difference between these prompts? 5 tennis balls. These 2 prompts are exactly the same. The top 2 prompts. The answers are different. Interesting. Okay. I don't understand, because the prompts are the same, so why does this doesn't seem to have anything. I don't understand why they would use this example. To me, this looks like the model itself was different. Okay. So prompt engineering is the secret sauce to getting the most out of language models. Let's say you want to give GPT-3 to write a story. By giving the model a prompt that includes a genre, characters, and settings, it can help create a story that fits your vision. You can even use a new tool called LangChain to chain. So LangChain is it allows you to chain actions together into multi-step prompts. This is something that I would like to look into more deeply. It's a whole framework. I think there's a lot of learning that could be happening here, but maybe not today, or maybe later on today. We'll get to it. Prompt engineering can be used for a wide variety of tasks, from translation to question answering. With the right prompt, you can make GPT-3 work for you in ways you never thought possible. Researchers showed that prompt engineering can be so powerful that by putting examples of accurate translations in a prompt, the translation capabilities of GPT-3 outperform Google Translate, a model fine-tuned specifically for that purpose. That's pretty impressive. And again, GPT-3 is now a whole generation behind. We're on GPT-4 now. So yesterday was a disaster dealing with some of the GPT-2 and like Flan 5 and these older models. I mean, 4-year-old models. The difference between a 4-year-old language learning model, large language model, the difference between a 4-year-old large language model and a 1 or 2-year-old language model is night and day. I mean, we have no business using 4-year-old language models anywhere. It's just they're not useful. But the new ones in the last year and a half are really, really nice. Okay, best part. There's a LangChain lib for Elixir. Really? That's good to know. 3 even. Thank you for sharing that information. If you share me a link, we might take a look at that in a bit. All right. So the best part, anyone can do it. Yeah. A bunch of prompt engineering guides here. I might just throw these up in the tabs so I have them for later. And we're going to go over to examples. Here are a few examples of how prompt engineering can supercharge the app we made in day 3. So what was the app that we made in day 3? We literally just made a Gradio demo that took prompts and shows you outputs from different models. So to generate a story based on a given theme, get creative with your prompt by adding more details. Imagine a world where theme is the norm. Write a story that captures the essence of this world and its inhabitants. To translate a text from one language to another, try a prompt that includes some context and specific requirements, such as translate this passage from insert language to insert language while maintaining the same tone and style as the original. To generate a text with specific tone or sentiment, use a prompt that sets clear expectations. Craft a text that conveys a blank message. All right, so like good examples of it. So, oh, thank you, 3 even, for pulling up that LangChain. So just quick look here. This is LangChain. This is the Elixir implementation of LangChain, of a LangChain style framework. Okay, so this is not. Okay, interesting. I'm definitely going to look into this later. That's very, very interesting stuff to me. Thank you, 3 even. These are just basic examples. Yep, those are just basic examples. Prompt engineering can be much more detailed and yield incredible results. Yep. Using the code from day 3 below, try and modify it to implement one of the above examples. All right, let's go ahead and just throw this into our code. First of all, I need to set my open API key. So let's go ahead and find that in my other monitor here. And here's how you use Replit. So you go here, you open a new tab, you find the secrets tab, and here I can copy and paste my OpenAI API key. You know what? The problem is that I have to create a new one because it's not going to show me. Yeah, it's not going to show me. Darn it. This is really annoying. All right. Okay. If I open up yesterday's, can I open up yesterday's? Where is yesterday's? My REPLs. Okay, let's try this. So if I open up my REPLs and I go to yesterday's Replit, and then I open up my secrets, do they still have my secrets stored here? They do. Okay, now can I copy that? I can. Great. Okay, so then I'm going to go back over here to the other Replit. So every REPL has its own secrets, and this is going to be called OpenAI API key. And so there you go. I just added it. Very interestingly, os.environ versus os.getEnv. Don't know what the difference is there, but they don't follow their own convention. So that's just one thing to pay attention to, I guess, to sort of observe. It's a learning opportunity. The other thing, if this is your first time joining me on a live coding session, I'm not a Python expert. I spend my day writing Elixir, Ruby, JavaScript, in that order generally, and so bear with me as I kind of learn Python more or less as we go through this. I know a little bit of Python. I mean, I know kind of some very fundamental Python syntax. Okay, so generate text GPT, takes an input string and a max length. I assume the max length is what we return. Yeah, max tokens, max length of the response. So we get OpenAI.completion.create. So this is OpenAI's Python library. Completion is a module, I guess. I also don't know what these are called, but I assume it's called a module. Create is a function, I assume. And here's some parameters we're passing in: the model name, the input string as the prompt. The temperature is a hyperparameter, max tokens. That's the max length. The top P, hyperparameters, frequency penalty. All these just hyperparameters that do different things. And then we're pulling the response choices, the first answer. I assume, I don't know why. Maybe they give you multiple responses back. I don't know. And then we return the answer. Now, so what we want to do is we want to modify this code to implement one of the above examples. So I kind of like to imagine a world where theme is the norm. So let's go ahead and say prompt equals and instead of insert theme, we want to interpolate. So how do I do? Whoa. Oh, it tried to give me. Okay, so how do I do string? Okay, so for example, in Ruby, it would look like this. Does anybody know Python string interpolation? Oh, okay. Okay, it's just that. Oh, okay. F. So F is like the sigil. Yeah, literal prefix F tells Python to store the value of two string variables, name and program. Got it. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to do F that single quote closing bracket where input string is the norm. Yeah? Does that seem right? Local variable prompt is assigned but never used. It will be right here. Okay, so now we're generating text. We've sort of built a prompt where the input string is interpolated into the prompt. And we've got all these hyperparameters. We don't know what they mean really. Then here we have the toGradio definition. So Gradio, for anyone who wasn't here the last few days, Gradio is basically a Python library that lets you demonstrate models in a web browser very easily. And so what this will do, this is going to generate an interface that takes a function, accepts inputs, two inputs in this case, text and a gradient slider. So this is the input text. This is going to be a slider from 0 to 250, which represents the max length of the response. And the output type is text. Okay. And I think I'm listening even though I have no idea. Thank you, Union. Well, I'm very glad that you're here. Glad to have you. Perhaps you will learn something that you find valuable one day. Or maybe it's just edifying. I don't know. So, and then this last part. So this is something, I guess this is a Python thing. So if name, so name must be something that already exists. I don't quite understand what's going on here because it's a Python thing. But I assume basically what it's saying is if the name of the file that's currently running is main, then run that function. So let's just run it and see what happens. So it's going to take a while to load up dependencies and kind of create this environment on the Replit cloud. But let's see how it goes. I don't think anyone's watching in YouTube, which is kind of sad. Oh, there's one view. Can I share this YouTube stream? Pop out dashboard. Oops. Okay, so for some reason Replit decides to throw out output like that, but there's nothing in the output. Okay, so now we are running this demo on a public URL that we can visit here. And so now you can see this is the Gradio demo. And so we have a theme. What's the theme of our story? What kind of story theme should we give it? How about a theme of, developing artificial intelligence, and we'll give it a max length of like 150, and we'll submit. So let's see what it can do here. Wow, that was fast. All right, so the world was a strange place now. Artificial intelligence had become the norm, and the humans had to adjust to the new reality. The robots were everywhere, doing all the jobs that humans used to do. They were efficient, tireless, and never made mistakes. They were also incredibly intelligent, able to learn. Okay, so I actually want to do a different one. Okay, so I want a theme of asteroid mining with Mars and the moon as like collection as siloing areas. How would one refine and the on planet refining of precious materials? Let's see. This is something I was thinking about this morning while I was writing. And this sounds probably insane, but just nerding out in your free writing is something that I do. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely do it. And I like to think about, okay, so the sun shone brightly in the sky, illuminating the vast expanse of the Martian landscape. The red planet was now home to a bustling industry of asteroid mining, with the moon and Mars serving as siloing areas for the precious metals that were being extracted from the asteroids. Okay, the people of this world had adapted to a new way of life and become experts in the art of asteroid mining. They had developed advanced technology to help them in their endeavors, and they become adept at refining the materials they had extracted from the asteroids. The people of this world had become so proficient in their craft, they were now able to use the materials they extracted to build new structures and machines. They'd even begun to explore the possibility of using the materials to create new forms of energy. Yeah, so this isn't exactly what I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping for a more specific, but that's okay because we can engineer our prompt, right? So we can change, uh, write a like let's say realistic, um, historical, a realistic story capturing the essence, the specifics of this world. All right, so this is like prompt engineering, right? Like we don't want the essence, we want the specifics. How exactly of this world and its yeah. So then we can stop this, we can rerun it, we'll get a new Gradio link and okay, maybe I'm having too much fun with this. I mean, I do grant that I'm probably having too much fun with this. Um let's um can I call you later? I'm sorry. All right. So anyway, let's just call that a success. We don't need to play around with the prompt too much because that's not the point of all this. All right. So making a story, generate a story based on a given theme. Get more creative with your prompt by adding more details, such as insert a world where is the norm. Write a story that captures the essence of the world. Yeah, we just did all that, right? So to implement this, the only change we need to modify is to modify our input string. Yeah. So full prompt. Imagine a world where input string is right up max length. Oh, interesting. Okay. Can I spell? Oh, I love how already my browser is just deciding to poop out on me. Yeah, there's something about I think it's I think it has to do with streaming while um streaming while running this IDE. It seems like my browser just cannot do it all at once. Sad, sad, sad. Times 0.75. And then we're going to stop this. We're going to rerun it. Oops. Stop that. Rerun it. Okay, so basically the change we made here is we just modified the prompt to include a max length of the max length that we submit. 75% of that max length that we input. Okay, so now we're going to open up this Gradio demo. And so a theme of realistic Martian, realistic asteroid farming, transporting which question mark rare materials to silos on Mars and the moon. A realistic hypothetical material refining on planet / moon. Let's see what it says. Let's go 225, submit. Let's see what it says. The sun shone brightly on the Martian surface, its light reflecting off the gleaming silos that dotted the landscape. Inside these silos were rare materials harvested from asteroids and transported to a planet by a fleet of robotic ships. The robots were controlled by a team of engineers and scientists who worked tirelessly to refine the materials and turn them into useful products. They had to be careful, as the materials were often volatile and could be dangerously mishandled. The team had been working on the project for years, and their efforts had paid off. They had managed to create a variety of products, from fuel to building materials, that could be used to build a sustainable colony on planet. The team was proud of their accomplishments, but they knew their work was far from over. They still had to transport the materials to the moon, where they could be used to build a base and further explore the solar system. All right, I mean, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's vague. Like, what I want is more specificity. Like, I want to know, I don't know, like, what are the rare materials? Like, I assume that you can get like platinum and lithium and stuff like that from some asteroids, but I don't know. And you'd think that the model would have some idea. Maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. All right, so our next step is going to be making a prompt for summarizing content. Spend some time thinking about it and make a prompt before going to the next page. All right, so prompt. Let's say, so first of all, I actually do this all the time, so I should have, all right, meaning I do prompt engineering all the time, so I should be able to write a pretty decent prompt here. The key elements are that you want to be pretty specific with what you're looking for. So, like, for example, when I summarize news articles, I say, hey, give me 5 to 7 points, specific factual points out of this news article, and write it in this style or this tone. All right, so once again, my browser is lagging to the point of almost unusability. What do I do about this? I mean, I guess I just need to close a bunch of tabs. Summarize the following text by making a list of main points in a concise and let's call it like journalistic style of prose. And then I'm going to get rid of the max length. It should just... Actually, I'm going to keep max length. I'm going to say max length of whoops. Max length times, let's do 0.8 instead of 0.75. Got it. Cool. Let's go ahead and stop that. Let's run it. Do we get any errors? Doesn't look like it. Let's go to the next part of the tutorial while that gets going. Okay, so let's see. Let's copy this. How about that? How about we copy this literal article here? We'll copy that, yeah. And then we'll post that into our summarizer. That's funny. Don't need all those W's. Don't know what that even means. We'll just go ahead for 235, submit. Let's see. Create a prompt for summarizing content in 3 different styles: bullet points, executive summary, and trimming word count. Take a drop down to the Gradio interface and increase the max length to 1,000 tokens. Consider using text wrap library to convert text into chunks for longer content. Okay, that's good to know. Some test summarizing OpenAI blog posts. How should AI systems behave? All right, cool. Let's follow. Let's actually like go through it step by step now and see. Whoops, what it has to say. Okay. So also I'm gonna go ahead and just make that a little smaller because we don't need all that. Okay. So all right. To make a summarizer, we need to think about what kind of output we want and how to craft a prompt that will give us that. We might also want to give short but clear context, encouraging the model to take inspiration from great writers to hopefully improve end quality. Lastly, it is often a good idea to sandwich your content in instructions to focus the model. Okay, here's one way we could make a prompt for 3 different styles. Some styles: convert the above content into bullet points, write an executive summary of the above content, and shrink the word count of the above content without losing any information. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I need to start using that one. Full prompt. Imagine a great writer. Okay, just a great writer. Imagine a great writer, like the generic great writer. The generic great writer is a bad writer, right? Like the generic great writer is not a thing. This is such like a sort of shallow, barely educated tech worker type of description, right? Like they can't imagine themselves a great writer and what that would mean. Like they can't even bring themselves to just say Shakespeare, you know what I mean? Like Shakespeare summarizing the following content while keeping all the key information, you know, because they probably don't believe like it, but it's just such a removal of the particularity and like demonstrating such a failure of imagination. So anyway, I know that I'm roasting some like anonymous tech writer, but like it's just sad. Just try harder, do better. You know, they're always like, oh, you have to do better. This is definitely a do better situation. Imagine a great writer summarizing the following content while keeping all the key information. Input string, end, content. Inspired by great writers, some styles in max length. Okay, words. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're just gonna copy what they're suggesting here. I'm not gonna well, actually I am gonna change it once I get it in here. The problem is that because my browser hates me, that any modifications I make to the text here is annoying. Okay, so first of all, let's do a great writer. Let's say, okay, Ernest Hemingway, right? Notoriously great writer, known for his concision and clarity. Summarizing the following points while keeping all the key. Okay, so we already mentioned that, so we don't need to re-mention it here. This is and we'll make that 0.8 just because I like that better than 0.75. Okay, so now we've got the some styles, we got the full prompt. By the way, just a little bit of code critique here. So some styles is not a clear variable name, right? Like, do they mean some meaning added together, these are the styles? Or do they mean some like summary? I don't know. Personally, I'd probably call this summary styles or summary prompts or something like that. Something just more explicit so that the next guy knows what the heck that's supposed to be. Undefined name style. Interesting. Well, duh, because wouldn't you need to iterate over that? Don't you need to iterate over this somehow? Why? How can you just say some styles style? You have to iterate over it, right? So like again, I'm not up. So, but let's basically go to ChatGPT. Okay, so, all right, chat. There is a syntax error in the full prompt variable, I think we want to iterate over the sum styles and interpolate the entire result into the string. And we're just going to go ahead and post it there and see what she says. It looks like you want to iterate over the sum styles list and generate a prompt for each style. Here's a revised version of your code that does this. All right, so what is she going to say? She gives me the list of the sum styles. Yep, okay. Full prompt. Yep, okay. This is the same thing that we've already got. Okay, but how did you do it? Oh, wow. Some style stop. So that's, she just kept that. Does she not know what we're doing here? Oh, she added the style. Was that already there? Was that there? Oh, maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Ah, yes, that's exactly what's happening. Okay. So, yeah, because look, here, we have toGradio, we have this function. So I should have read all the whole thing. Basically, what we're doing is we're creating the interface, generate the function. Okay, that's the function that we have defined up here. And then we're grabbing a text box with 2 lines with a placeholder, a slider from 0 to 1000, and then a drop down. So, and we're calling that index. So this should take another parameter called style, and this needs to replace this whole function, and then we're going to summarize this blog post. So I'm just going to copy that whole thing, basically. Just Command A, right? Okay, so let's see if we can stop this and run it. Let's get this new Gradio demo going. Do you guys understand what's happening here? Basically, we're going to give the user the option to select which style of summary that they want. That's what's happening. Oh, do you guys like my new True Social mug? This is a Christmas gift from Truth. I mean, it came in like a box with a bunch of other stuff. They were very generous. It's very cool. The best company to work for. I love it. All right, so now we have a public Gradio link. We don't need all this crap, right? Just wasting tokens here. All right, go ahead to 980 style. What do we want? Do we want the bullets? We want the executive. I want to try this new style of just removing all all unnecessary tokens and keeping only but without losing any information. Shrink this text without losing any information is what the prompt says, more or less. All right. OpenAI's mission to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. Therefore, we are therefore focused on the behavior of AI systems we build, such as ChatGPT, and the way that the behavior is determined. We have seen valid concerns raised about outputs that are politically biased, offensive, or otherwise objectionable. Oh my gosh. To address this, we are summarizing how ChatGPT's behaviors. The 2 main steps involved in building ChatGPT are pre-training and fine-tuning. Pre-training involves having the model predict what comes next in a big data set that contains parts of the internet. Fine-tuning involves a more narrow data set that is generated with human reviewers who follow guidelines. We maintain a strong feedback loop with our reviewers to train the model to be better over time. We are committed to robustly addressing biases in the design and impact of AI systems. We are sharing a portion of our guidelines that pertain to political and controversial topics, and we are working to share aggregated demographic information about our reviewers. That's really what matters. We need to know how many of the reviewers are, you know, black lesbians. We are researching how to make fine-tuning process more understandable. Honestly, shouldn't they just all be black lesbians? Shouldn't all the reviewers be black lesbians? How can you have an unbiased, anti-racist artificial intelligence if all of the reviewers are not black lesbians? We are committed to ensuring that access to, benefits from, and influence over AI and AGI are widespread. To achieve this, we are investing in research and engineering to reduce both glaring and subtle biases in how ChatGPT responds to different inputs. Ernest Hemingway's summary. Interesting. OpenAI is committed to ensuring artificial intelligence. Yeah, we are interested in research and to reduce biases. Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's see if we can get a bullet point version of this. Ernest Hemingway summary. OpenAI's mission to ensure that, yep, 2 main steps: pre-training and fine-tuning. Yep. Commit. Yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Hiring for positions. Great. Okay. Well, there you go. Looks like we have a pretty solid summarizer here. How are the results? How much did they pricing? What? That doesn't make any sense. Why did they just throw this OpenAI pricing? One critical way is app. Did they use a GPT-2 to write this tutorial? One critical way this app would need to be improved is to enable summaries of longer content. How can we summarize content longer than 4,000 token? One useful tool is text wrap, a Python library that can easily convert text into chunks in one line. That's awesome. One approach we could use to summarize any length of text is to break it into small enough chunks, summarize each chunk, and join them back together. Below is my implementation. Chunk summarize. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, we could do this. All text, max length style, etc., etc. We'll save as a file. Wow, okay. Can you just do this on Gradient or on Replit? So just add this function. Chunk summarize, all text, max length, style, chunk, text wrap, all text, 4,000. What? Where does this max length get used? Oh, interesting. Huh. All right. Wait a minute. So, okay. So then here we're gonna call chunk summarize instead. Chunk summarize. Got it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is all the same, right? I already did it. Second, quickly. So basically what's happening here is I think he's just saying we need to modify our Gradient interface to rely on the new function, which is what we just did. Chunk summarize. Second, quickly adding in a save file function to save our output that we are paying all that money for. Okay. Where does that get called? Oh, we got to import text wrap, right? What's that down here? Yep. You like I'm just copying and pasting this? Like I just don't even. But that's how you learn. You learn by mimicry. Often. Import time. Save a file for reference as well and return a full summary. Where do we want to do that? Oh, we're doing it right here. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's stop it. Let's run it. Let's see. So what do we want to summarize, guys? We need something with more than 4,000 characters. 10,000 word essays. How many pages is 10,000 words? 20 pages single space. All right, so I mean Montaigne essays. Let's grab an essay from Montaigne. Is that how you pronounce it? Montaigne? Or is it Montaigne or Montaigne? What if I just try to do the whole thing? The whole book? It's way too much. I can't possibly do that. Longest essay by Montaigne. The essays. Let's ask ChatGPT. She always knows. What is Montaigne's longest single essay? Let's see what she says. Apology for Raymond. Book 2, essay 12. All right, so let's go. First of all, let's just see if we can get. All right, 25 page. Perfect. Perfect. I just control A this bad boy. All right, control A. Great. Now let's go ahead to back to the Replit. I should have a link here. I do have a link here. Nope, that didn't work. Can I please? .txt. I'm going to have to Google that because Brave isn't good enough at this. Internet Archive. Of course, that's a... Bro, I just want the .txt, please. All right, now we're cooking. All right. Wow. Yep, I'm just copying this whole thing, trying to not get all the Wikipedia links and stuff in here. But all right, so now I copy all that to my clipboard. Let's go here. We're going to put all the text in there. We're going to put the max length at 980. We're going to give the style. I just want the bullets. No, well, we haven't tried the executive yet. Let's see what the executive summary says of this. I am an executive after all, meaning I execute code. I'm executing the code. All right. It is for our Christian faith, not his stoic virtue, to pretend or aspire to this divine metamorphosis or this miraculous transmutation. Now or the present filleth the ever. Then there's nothing that truly is but he alone, without saying he has been or he shall be, without beginning and sans ending. To this so religious conclusion of a heathen man, I will only add this word, taken from a testimony of the same condition, for it is an end of this long and tedious discourse, which might well furnish me with endless matter. Oh, what a vile and abject thing is man, saith he, unless he raise himself above humanity. Observe here a notable speech, and a profitable desire, but likewise absurd, for to make the handful greater than the hand, and the embraced greater than the arm, and to hope to straddle more than our leg's length, is impossible and monstrous, nor that man should mount over and above himself or humanity, for he cannot see but with his own eyes. What is going on, bro? Why is this taking so long? Is it running? It is running. I might just read this. This is a lot of text, actually. I mean, in multiple languages. We've got Latin here. If you will counsel, give the gods leave to weigh what is most meet we should receive, and what for our estate most profit were to them, than to himself man is more dear. That doesn't rhyme in the modern English. Wow. We are now at 2 minutes of trying to summarize this text. I probably should just read it. I mean, so let's see. We're chunking it by 4,000, right? So 25 pages should be, let's say 10,000 words plus is 20 pages. So plus a quarter is like, let's say 12,500 words. So that means we have to chunk it 3-4 times. And so we're basically doing four chunks each. I mean, what is it actually doing? So chunk summary, chunks, text wrap. Okay, so yeah, chunk that by 4,000. Then you get a result is a list. We're creating a new list, an empty list. Count 0 for chunk in chunks. Count equals count plus 1, right? So yeah, we're always going to add 1 to the count. We're going to generate the text API for the 4,000 characters with the max length and the style that we discussed. And then we're going to save a file and we're going to return the output joined together. So yeah, that should only take four this is taking a long time. I don't know how much longer we want to wait. Say hi in the chat. I want to meet the new people. There must be new people watching this because certainly nobody cares. None of my normal audience cares about this stuff. All right, I'm going to refresh this and try it again. How does that sound? And we're going to make it a little bit shorter. And we're going to do it in the executive summary style. And we're going to submit. Let's see about it. All right, 33 seconds. Come on now. The juice may not be worth the squeeze, y'all. We're now at 49 seconds. The juice may not be worth the squeeze. Let's see what some of these tabs I have open are. All right, so that's the essay that we just are trying to. Shall we start from the top and read this essay? Knowledge is without all contradiction a most profitable and chief ornament. Those who despise it declare evidently their sottishness. I've never heard that word, sottishness. Yet, okay, I have to take some phone calls here probably in a little while. Yeah, I don't know. This is just taking so long, and it's not getting us anywhere. I'm going to close a bunch of tabs. Python, yeah, I already did Python string interpolation. Glad that chat was able to find how to use ChatGPT to boost your writing. You are writing a prompt, not having a conversation. All right. So how to use ChatGPT to boost your writing. I think most people who are using ChatGPT to help with writing are doing it wrong. So this was from January 10th. This may or may not be still relevant. I've mentioned ChatGPT isn't Google and it isn't Alexa, but it also isn't a human that you're giving instructions to. It is a machine you are programming with words. You're writing a prompt, not having a conversation, because ChatGPT often acts like a helpful human. We get lured into thinking it is one. Are you nice to ChatGPT? Yes, I'm polite to the AI. No, I just give orders. I'm polite often. While there's nothing wrong with politeness, it often obscures the fact that we are all trying to create a prompt, a non-sentient machine to generate the text we need. This confusion isn't a problem in other types of generative AIs, as AI image generators are not as verbose as ChatGPT. People using them have learned they need to spend time doing prompt engineering. More elaborate and specific prompts work better. Don't ask it to write an essay about human error causes catastrophes. It'll be boring and straightforward. Provide clear bullet points to the argument. Write an essay with the following points. Humans are prone to error. Most errors are not that important. In complex systems, some errors are catastrophic. Catastrophes cannot be avoided. But even these results are much less interesting than a complicated prompt. Write an essay with the following points. Use an academic tone. Use at least one clear example. Make it concise. Write for a well-informed audience. Use a style like the New Yorker. Make it at least 7 paragraphs. Vary the language in each one. End with an ominous note. Humans are prone to error. Most errors are not that important. Yeah. That's a great prompt. I'm actually curious. Let's see what happens when we run this through ChatGPT. This has just become a prompt engineering. Is Gradio still running? Gradio's still running. This is great, isn't it? Maybe I should make the max length even shorter. What do you guys think? No one's in the chat today. Nobody cares. Nobody is in the chat. It's sad. Sad. Title: The Fragility of Complexity, Human Error in an Imperfect World, the Inevitable Human Flaw in the Tapestry of... That's so annoying. I can't read that. I'm sorry. It's so bad. In the Tapestry of Human Endeavor. Shut up. Notice that not every part of the prompt is followed exactly. Yeah. So try asking it to be concise or wordy or detailed. Ask it to be specific or give examples. Play with memory and length. ChatGPT's huge advance over other generative AI is that it has memory. It keeps track of what you wrote. It appears to remember about 3,000 words worth of data. However, what it retains and how that memory is used is often unclear. Yep. Similarly, you might want to break up your request to the chatbot into smaller chunks. Yep. Play with personas and style. Yep. Remember limitations and your ideas. ChatGPT, like all generative systems, is a tool. No. Okay. That's like basic stuff. It's good to know. Advanced ChatGPT prompt engineering. By now, you're probably experimenting with ChatGPT and realize this huge potential of calculator for words has. Yep. Maximum response length workaround. If text gets cut off, try using the OpenAI playground. Duh. Breakdown queries. Try to create a more engaging and interactive guys. Yeah. So, to me, it's all elementary. I do it all the time. But this is actually good advice, right? If you're getting length issues, go to the OpenAI playground and use that. It's connected directly to the GPT API, and you'll get better results. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try this one more time with an even shorter length because I am tired of waiting. We're now at 355 seconds. That's 350 seconds too long. All right, so summarize this text. Let's go ahead and just say 150. Do executive. All right. You think this will go? Do you think this will go? Ibid 4514. I wonder who Ibid is. Who's he quoting all the time? Lucretius, maybe? Different people, obviously. Ovid, I know him. Pygmalion's wit so troubled by the impression. He kisses and thinks kisses come again. He sues, pursues, and holds, but leaves in vain. His fingers sink where he doth touch the place, and fears least black and blue touched limbs deface. Yeah, it's about Pygmalion who made a statue so realistic he fell in love with it, right? All right, I don't know if that one's going to go either. To create more engaging and interactive conversation chat, try to break down your queries into subqueries. Yep, set a persona. I actually did this. I've set my chat GPT to be a helpful assistant, basically like a helpful female assistant, compliant and cheerful. I found that I just prefer that tone. I just prefer reading a compliant and cheerful feminine tone in an assistant robot. People are gonna tell me I'm a misogynist for that. I don't care. It's way better than the liberal dork tone that is the default out of the box. Chat GPT use cases and prompts. Yeah, brainstorm 10 ideas. Yeah, this is great stuff. Maybe I'll share that with you guys. All right, yeah, this is the Elixir Lang chain. Come on, how close are we to this Gradio thing working? Oh my goodness, this is so bad, and I don't have any introspection to what's happening here. Like, is it running? Can I like log? Wait a minute, what's that? Oh, this is the file. Oh my gosh. 106. Okay, that's why it's taking so long, dude. Oh, and it is airing out. Because I can't save a file that big. Philosophers have debated the concept of the soul's transmigration from one body to another, with the Epicureans questioning what would happen if the number of the... Oh my goodness. All right, so I mean, it kind of works. It's just way bigger than I thought, I guess. So it's 4,000 characters, not 4,000 tokens, bro. Okay, well, that's my own darn fault. Final touches. There's so many ways these projects can go further. While today is the end of this quick course, it is just the start of your journey with large language models. These tools radically change the way the digital world interacts. Yeah, so basically, I think what happened here is this is way more chunks than I expected. And so, you know, I was thinking it would be like 4 chunks. It turned out to be 116 chunks because I was misunderstanding. It's not 4,000 words, it's 4,000 characters. So that's important to know about. Yeah, OpenAI has released a state-of-the-art voice-to-text model called Whisper. We hope that you can, you know, so in day 4, yeah. So, okay, so that's the conclusion of the tutorial. We're going to mark it as complete. This is pretty cool. I mean, I do think this is pretty cool, but it's not enough. This is not enough. This is not what we're going to conclude. I mean, we're going to call this stream a success and move on here. But what I would like to do is probably come back in a little while, not too long, just like a little while, like an hour maybe or two, and I'd like to start looking at self-hosting a Mistral model. And basically what I'd like to get high quality code completion running like on my own machine or on a machine that I control in the cloud somewhere. And I'd like to set up my Cursor AI text editor to use that instead of using GPT's API for a few reasons. I think GPT probably, if they ever find out who I am and what I'm working on, they will be like, yeah, we don't want to do business with you. And second of all, I think that it'll just be a good learning experience. And third, I think that if I can fine tune the model based on the code that I write every day, I might be able to get better code prediction out of a self-hosted Mistral model than I can out of generic GPT-4 API. So that's what I'd like to do later today. If you enjoy this, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe. Join us on Locals. I'm open to rants. I'm going to conclude this live stream since it's kind of a coherent whole and hopefully valuable to people who are learning this stuff in itself. And it's also just about an hour long, so I think it's like a good length to just stop here. But I'm going to go ahead and pick it back up. I'm going to do another live stream in a little while. Okay, I'm going to take a bathroom break. I'm going to pray and we'll pick up a live stream again here in like, let's say an hour, maybe 90 minutes or so. Yeah. Okay. Unless there's anything else, I am grateful for all of you who have attended, and I pray that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and maybe you'll join us again for the live stream a little bit later when we pick up some self-hosted model stuff. So God bless you. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Until next time.